What if the smartest move of the Yankees offseason isn't a blockbuster trade or a record-breaking contract, but a quiet, calculated signing that transforms their entire defensive identity? Are we about to witness Brian Cashman force Jazz Chisholm Jr. into a position change that could define the next era of Yankees baseball? While the baseball world obsesses over half-billion-dollar contracts and superstar free agents, the New York Yankees might be about to close the shrewdest deal of the entire offseason. According to an explosive report highlighted by the Times of India this Friday, December 2025, Brian Cashman has identified the perfect replacement for Gleyber Torres. The target is Ha-Seong Kim, the South Korean defensive wizard who's widely considered one of the best gloved men on the planet. Market projections point to a 4-year, $56 million contract, a bargain that would bring Gold Glove caliber defense to Yankee Stadium's infield. But here's the twist that's sending shockwaves through Bronx. Signing Kim would force Jazz Chisholm Jr. into a permanent move to the outfield. This isn't just a roster move. This is a philosophical shift. For years, the Yankees have tolerated mediocre defense at second base in exchange for offensive production. They watched Gleyber Torres make mental mistakes, miss routine plays, and cost them games in crucial moments. But now, they're prioritizing run prevention over flashy offense. Ha-Seong Kim represents everything Gleyber Torres wasn't: consistency, elite range, a cannon arm, and baseball instincts that turn routine plays into highlight reel outs. His arrival would transform a Yankees middle infield into a fortress. But it comes with a price, a difficult conversation with their electric superstar, Jazz Chisholm Jr. Let's break down why Ha-Seong Kim is the missing piece the Yankees desperately need. First, his defense is absolutely elite. Kim won the Gold Glove as a utility player in 2023 and was a finalist at shortstop. He has a range to cover ground that most second basemen can't even dream of reaching. He has the arm strength to make throws from deep in the hole, and he has the instincts to position himself perfectly before every pitch. Putting him at second base, or even at shortstop if the Yankees decide to move Anthony Volpe, would give their pitchers a level of confidence they haven't had in years. Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon would know that any ball hit on the ground has a legitimate chance of being turned into an out. That's the kind of defensive security that wins championships. Second, the contract is an absolute steal. Because Kim underwent shoulder surgery that ended his 2024 season prematurely, his market value has dropped. The article projects a 4-year, $56 million deal. That's $14 million per year for a player who consistently accumulates defensive and offensive WAR. In today's inflated market, where mediocre players are getting $20 million annually, getting a Gold Glove defender for $14 million is highway robbery. The Yankees would be getting elite production at a fraction of the cost they'd pay for a comparable free agent. Third, Kim's offensive profile fits perfectly into the Yankees lineup. He's not a 40-home run slugger, and he's not going to carry the offense on his back. But he's a master at getting on base. His plate discipline is exceptional. He draws walks. He makes consistent contact. He's the kind of hitter who can slot into the bottom third of the lineup and turn over the order for Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. In a lineup loaded with power, having a high on-base percentage player who can set the table is invaluable. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. What happens to Jazz Chisholm Jr.? The report explicitly states that signing Kim would force Jazz Chisholm Jr. into a surprising position change. With Kim at second base and Anthony Volpe at shortstop, Jazz would be pushed to the outfield, likely left field or center field, depending on whether the Yankees re-sign Cody Bellinger. This is a massive shift. Jazz has thrived at second base. He's brought energy, athleticism, and swagger to the position. But here's the thing. Jazz played center field for the Miami Marlins earlier in his career. He has the speed, the arm, and the athleticism to cover the vast outfield grass at Yankee Stadium. While he might prefer the infield, his versatility is exactly what allows the Yankees to pursue an upgrade like Ha-Seong Kim. And honestly, this move makes perfect sense. The Yankees' outfield situation is murky. If Bellinger doesn't return, they need someone who can play center field at a high level. Jazz has the tools to do it. He's fast enough to track down fly balls in the gaps. He's athletic enough to make diving catches. And his arm is strong enough to throw out runners trying to take extra bases. Moving Jazz to the outfield doesn't diminish his value. It maximizes a team's overall defensive capability. It's a win-win scenario if Jazz buys into the plan. But let's be real about the challenge here. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is a star. He's a 30-30 player who brought electricity back to the Bronx. Asking him to change positions isn't a small request. It's a test of his willingness to sacrifice personal preference for team success. If Jazz resists, this move could create tension in the clubhouse. But if he embraces it, if he sees the bigger picture and understands that moving to the outfield makes the Yankees a better team, then this could be the move that defines his legacy in pinstripes. Now, let's talk about what this means for Gleyber Torres. His departure leaves a hole in production, but also creates an opportunity for a massive defensive upgrade. Ha-Seong Kim offers everything Torres didn't. Where Torres was prone to mental errors and inconsistent effort, Kim is a machine of reliability. Where Torres struggled with range and positioning, Kim excels. Paying Kim $14 million per year is far safer than paying Torres $20 million plus on a long-term deal. The Yankees are choosing stability over volatility, and that's the right call. Here's the tactical analysis that matters. The Yankees are trying to build a defense that doesn't fail in October. In 2024 and 2025, defensive mistakes cost them crucial games. Errors in the infield, miscommunication in the outfield, routine plays that became disasters. Ha-Seong Kim is the insurance policy against those nightmares. If signing him means moving Jazz Chisholm Jr., a player athletic enough to thrive anywhere on the field, then that's a small price to pay for defensive stability. Championships aren't won by outscoring opponents in shootouts. They're won by preventing runs, by making the plays that matter, by having a defense that doesn't crack under pressure. The potential signing of Ha-Seong Kim for $56 million would be a masterstroke by Brian Cashman. He'd be acquiring a player beloved by advanced metrics, solving the second base question, and indirectly improving the outfield defense by putting Jazz Chisholm's athleticism out there. It's a move that makes the Yankees faster, smarter, and far more difficult to beat. If Kim's shoulder is healthy, this could be the most underrated signing of the decade in the Bronx. And here's the kicker. This move sends a message to the rest of the league. The Yankees aren't just chasing big names and flashy contracts. They're building a complete team. They're prioritizing defense. They're making the smart, calculated moves that championship organizations make. Ha-Seong Kim might not sell as many jerseys as a superstar slugger, but he'll win more games. And in the end, that's all that matters. If you think the Yankees should go all in on Ha-Seong Kim and move Jazz Chisholm Jr. to the outfield, or if you think this is a mistake that disrupts team chemistry, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to smash that like button, because this offseason is getting wild. And you don't want to miss a single update on the Yankees' pursuit of defensive excellence.